I'm Craig Pretzinger.
And I'm Jason Feldman.
We're just a couple of insurance dudes.
So passionate about telemarketing telefunnels.
We've hacked the mechanics of top agents' telefunnels.
You'll see behind the scenes of
how you can sell more,
save time,
reduce the cost of your leads,
and produce predictable results every single day.
Let's get it on. Woo! Wow. It is so cool.
Wow.
Audience, studio audience. Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. This is number one, man. This is it. This is the first podcast of the Teledudes, Tele-Funnels.
Yeah. Teledudes, Tele-Funnels, telemarketers.
Yes. Yeah.
Three
So,
T's.
Craig, people have been asking me, what is a telefunnel?
What is a telefunnel?
What is a telefunnel?
Well,
and I tell everybody the same thing. It starts at it's a funnel.
upside down triangle.
And it's basically, it starts with the telemarketer. They're like, oh, okay, so you mean telemarketing? Well, no, that's a component of the telefunnel, right? And then we got to go back to what's a sales funnel. It's basically a sales funnel mixed with telemarketing.
Yeah.
And then you got your telefunnel.
But what if they don't know what a sales funnel is?
Well, Craig, let's talk about that.
Yeah. It's a system, right? I keep going back to that triangle, but it's a system whereby you systematize each step of that sales pipeline so that you can easily track and measure what's going on, right?
That's right.
Then it's easy to diagnose what the issue is if things aren't working.
Yep. And I think that takes me back to when I first started, and I literally had no idea how I mean, I get how a telemarketer would work, but like, how would a sales funnel work? I didn't realize the amount of leads that you needed to have, the amount of follow-up calls, the amount of follow-ups in general, text, emails, like whatever it may be, whatever the traditional sales funnel or new sales funnel is. I didn't understand how that all works together. And as I started learning, there are multiple components, but then it's like the amounts of touch points it takes to get that sale is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And 94. 94 calls you had to get that sale. That's unreal.
It is
but
unreal.
It goes to show, like, for telefunnels, is that it does come down to dials. It comes down to reaching out for that, because at the end of our sales, at the telefunnel, it's the sales agent selling the value of that policy. And the only way to truly sell the value, you can't really do it in words. It's easy to sell the price in words, but selling the value, you have to have that connection.
Yeah.
Right. You and I talk about it all the time. That connection is gold. Yep. But in order to have your agents connect with the people, they have to talk to them on the phone. There's just, there has to be that one-on-one. Yeah. And that's the end of the telefunnel.
Sure. And it's so funny. Like, I just two of my best producers that are here now, they came in and they'd been trained elsewhere. And usually I'd prefer to bring them in cold and they don't know anything about it. But these guys were doing pretty well. And they had that mentality of, okay, let me get you that. Let me get you, I'll work the quote up, then I'll call you back. And I had to untrain that whole idea, because we know from all of the dials that have gone through our own telefunnels that it's so much more effective if you do it on the phone. 3, 4, 5 times more effective, right? Because the likelihood of them not answering the phone when you call back with that great quote is huge, right? 90% they're not going
Right.
to answer the phone. Oh, no, they'll
Yep.
answer. No, they won't. Maybe one of them will, but not all of them, especially if you're going to do 10 households a day. No way.
Right. Yep.
No way.
Yeah, it's it's hard until you see the data how valuable it is to have somebody on the line. Like that's it. That
Mm-hmm.
is the most valuable. It's so hard to get that.
Yeah.
So thinking that you can just get them on the line again is crazy talk.
Right.
Um, you know, that's where you got to have that follow-up system that's hammering them. But it all starts with that telefunnel to get them on the line. If you just have your agents doing it, I mean, we used to do this. My in our agency, our agents had to make a minimum of 400 calls a day.
That sounds
Is
like
that
a lot of
insane?
fun. Sounds fun.
Oh, the turnover.
Right.
Like we had a pretty good culture doing that at first for a while, but the culture is just it's a grind. It's a grumpy grind
Grumpy.
after a while.
Yeah. Well,
That's just the bottom line.
think of who you're putting in there to do that task, right? If you're gonna,
Right.
and this is why we call it a telefunnel, because that top of the funnel is the lowest skilled activity, right? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to make those dials. You don't have to have some special skill. You don't need a license. You just need a phone, right? In order to
Yep.
make 500 dials. Now, time wise, if we're only going to have a 15% contact rate on that first day, that means 85% of the time, nothing's happening.
Right.
Right. So why would you train somebody, bring them on, get them licensed, do all of that stuff to make them a valuable member of your team and have 85% of the time result in nothing?
And frustration.
And right. And create a situation where they want to leave because it sucks, because it's the worst job ever.
And you want to take out more of the guesswork to all this. You know what I mean? Maybe that person doesn't dial that good. So now, you know, you're comparing one agent that you have against the new agent that you have, and they just do different work.
Yeah.
Where if you create some sort of funnel, you at least have the mechanics of that constantly working, and that's it. And then after you do that, yeah, after you do that, then you,
You're able to see what's
I got
going
thrown
on.
off.
You're able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
it's just the visibility into each step of that funnel is what creates that the the awesome part of that, of the whole system.
Yep. That's it. And it's the consistency and making that what we've always referred to as a virtual line out the door
Mm-hmm.
is gold. And then you can really just focus on the sales and focus on boom, 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 having that constant client virtual line out your door
Sure.
and put the agent in front of that virtual line. And then you really have a winning system.
Yep. And so
Tele
I
Telefunnels.
yeah, telefunnels. And I think, well, number one, that like it's real, the fact that you have turnover if if you're making them dial 400 dials a day versus when you don't have turnover, how much of a team atmosphere it becomes, right? Like having gone through the year of the virus, maybe it's year one of the virus, and having the same team the entire time, like it's remarkable. Over the course of all of the years, the hundreds of years that I've been an agent, there hasn't been a year where it's been all the same people ever, right?
Right.
Until this last year. And even when there was some question in somebody's mind, like maybe I'm going to go somewhere else or this or that, we sat down and we talked it over. And I said, look, if you go anywhere else, let me explain how this is going to work. Number one, there aren't going to be 10 telemarketers. Number 2, nobody's buying 500 leads a day. Number 3, number 4, number 5. I mean, there's so many positives to this environment if you're going to work in this business that there isn't an argument to go anywhere else. Plus, it's pretty fun to work here.
Yeah, and your agents are selling twice, 3 times, 4 times as many policies as anybody else. But really, the idea behind it is if you can have an agent using a Tele-Funnel to double their sales, they make more money, they're happier, and you have less to manage, you're happier.
Yeah. I remember you saying this before. And it was a quote ripped off from somebody else who I can't remember, somebody on the internet. But he or she who spends the most money to acquire the new customer wins, right?
Yes.
And I don't know that it's just money, right? He who invests the most time, the most dials, the most whatever is going to win, right? So take the case of the person 94 dials. Who invested the most dials, right?
Yep.
Our team. And
Right.
there's no doubt that I would challenge anybody to try to get this person because it's going to take 95 dials to get that person now, right?
Yep.
They are a lifer unless we do something to upset them. So I thought that was interesting. It's just, the more if you can invest more than anybody else in acquiring that new business, will you?
Yep.
It pays off.
It does. So this is going to be a little series that we're going to put out for the Teledudes and just throw some of what we've learned out there. The next one, we will be talking about the number one reason why people that start doing this fail and what that is and how to overcome it.
I love it.
You don't even know what it is.
I have an
Yes,
idea,
you do.
Mr. Jason. It's going to be great. So that's it. That's the foundation of this entire series. It's going to be a little mini series that we're going to just talk about this stuff and really dive deep. By the end of this, you should be able to build your own, utilize plug and play with Legos. You could bring in the Teledudes, whatever, so, but you'll understand the system. That's our goal is for people to understand the concept of the funnel and all of the different pieces and what you need to look at.
Yep. And if you want to come on with us, we're live every week. So go to live.teledudes.com. And we can talk about what we're doing, a complete done for you system of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Super awesome. We got a bunch of people that are just crushing it.
Yeah. Get on there. What is it? It's
live.teledudes.com.
Yep. We're on live. We will do a Q&A. So if you have questions from this, you want to jump on that, feel free.
Yep.
And we will see you on the flippity flip.
Backside.
We'll see you on the backside. Bye-bye.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2222. 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice. I'm going
Craig,
to
are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be
Well,
awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's
Okay.
520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.